getting ready for paddling season, and thought I'd shoot a short little video and show you my first aid kit. I've really spent a lot of time on developing this kit, especially since I started going solo about 2-3 years ago, where safety becomes a little bit more important on those trips. When I started out, I basically carried, a small little pouch like this. It's empty now, but it's a zip up pouch. It works good. It's visible. It's a first aid kit. But as my trips, especially my solo trips, I've found this kind of tight. I do add in some survival items on there, like lighters and things like that. So it's kind of a dual purpose kit, but I've always liked to be prepared, and as I get more and more experience, more time in the backwoods, I spend more time thinking about scenarios and what if scenarios, and what items I might need and items I'm comfortable using. Last year I upgraded kits into this dry bag here. It's an Ascend dry bag. It has a clear window on the front and it's highly visible. So this gave me the room I needed. However, it was a bit bulky to fit inside my bag. I latched it onto the outside of my bag, onto the thwart of the canoe, onto the seat of the canoe. It seemed to work fine for that purpose. But I started thinking more and more about what if I got separated from my gear somehow? What if I dumped in the middle of the lake and I couldn't get to my gear, or I just went out for a hike? I might not always have this kit with me, and when I'm out solo, I think that's pretty important. As the weather and situations can arise, that it would be handy to have your kit on you. So did some research and came across this waist pack or fanny pack from Overland. It's a 3-liter dry bag, has a roll top, so it is waterproof. Has a water resistant pouch, a zipper pouch in the front here as well. Looks like a pretty good pack. I didn't have a choice in colors. This was the last one, so it is what it is. But seems to work well. I did test it out on my canoe earlier this year, and there was no issues with clearance when I'm sitting with my life jacket or with the canoe. So this worked fine. This will allow me to always have it on me. And also on the pants that I wear, the belt's always not the sturdiest. So this one gives me another option to put on my bear spray, hang a knife, things like that. So I plan on keeping this on me basically at all times until I get to camp. So I'll just go through a few of these items here. Right on top, this is something I haven't used, but felt like would be a good addition to the kit. So this is a combat tourniquet. It allows you to simply create a tourniquet if you have a deep wound, and you can twist with one hand. You can use this to tighten down the tourniquet even further. Hope I never have to use it, but was thinking about if I fell on a knife or something else that had a deep cut, maybe hit an artery or something like that, especially if I'm by myself. This could be a lifesaver, and it doesn't take that much space at all. Next item I have in here is a 4-inch Israeli bandage. I don't know if you can see that there. And for a deep wound, there's a set of instructions on the back. Again, I haven't had to use this, but you never know. So I do keep an emergency blanket in there as well, especially being on the water in the fall or spring especially, and you dump your gear and you may be separated for a while. This will really come in handy. I do have just some gauze and some Q-tips, assortment of different bandages for sprains or if I need extra support. Here's another bandage with some flexible tape, medical tape. This tape is really handy. It's breathable, flexible, if you have some deep cuts, it adheres really well to the skin, and also allows it to breathe. So I've used this a lot and it comes in handy. So I've assorted, some of these might be comfort items, but they are important. I have some Tums in there, Pepto-Bismol tabs, and I have some Tylenol Cold in there, and what else I got in there? I got some Reactin as well, just in case of allergies. So assorted pack there. All of them aren't necessary, but I've been on trips and you don't want an upset stomach or something like that bothering you the entire trip. Some scissors and tweezers, along with some hydrocortisone cream for any kind of itch or irritations, as well as some polysporin. All things that I've used on a trip and they come in handy. Some moleskin, just for any blisters or rubbing, or if you got some hot spots. Here I have my pill bottle, which I label everything on the outside. So I have some Advil, Tylenol. I have some aspirin in here as well in case of signs of a heart attack. You can take a couple baby aspirin. Make sure you label all your medication, especially if you're with someone else in your group. When we were younger, out camping in the backcountry, my dad wasn't feeling well, had a headache, so he went into someone's med kit to grab some Tylenol, and he took 2 Tylenol, and his condition was getting worse. He was throwing it up, vomiting. We weren't sure what was happening with him, and as it turns out, he took 2 I think Tylenol 3s, some really strong medication that wasn't labeled properly. So when you're designing your kit, make sure things are labeled, so it's not only for you, but it's for someone else. Getting near the end here, bunch of assorted Band-Aids. I keep a lot of different ones, especially for the fingers, which are hard to bandage up. A larger Band-Aid here, and I also have some rubber gloves in case you need to keep your hands clean, or if you're with somebody else, it's good to keep a sterile pair of gloves. Another package with assorted Band-Aids. We have some steri strips in here, which are great for any cuts or something that might require stitches. I know some medical kits have sutures and stuff like that, but there's no way I'm sticking a needle and sewing up a stitch, so I'll use medical tape and these steri strips. And these waterproof Band-Aids from NextCare. I don't know if you can see that in the picture, but these have worked really well. The adhesive is just clear tape that goes on the wound. They come in various sizes. You can't even feel it. It adheres really well to the skin and keeps it completely waterproof and keeps dirt out of it. You hardly know you're wearing a Band-Aid. So NextCare waterproof Band-Aids have worked great, and generally I end up using them on every trip, just from little cuts and scrapes that you get on the hands. Now last part of it, in the zippered pouch, these are more survival related items that I have here. Aqua Tabs, so 1 tab per 1 liter of water, so if I need clean water, I have a way to purify. Duct tape, so really you can just take an old like ID card or an old gift card, wrap around, which duct tape comes in handy for multiple reasons. A little Swiss Army knife here. These come in handy. Multiple tools in there. Screwdriver, file, there's scissors and whatnot. Never know when you need that. Might come in handy to shave some wood if you're starting a fire, which I also have a ferro rod as well. So I don't use this normally on my trips, I just use a lighter. I chose to put this in my safety kit. More reliable, it'll create a spark in any weather condition versus a lighter, which could break down. So just general, a little bit of string here, little compass here that just attaches with a pin onto your clothing. So throw that in there. The pin also could be used for blisters, taking out slivers and whatnot as well once you sterilize it. So that is a dual purpose there. And that's everything in my kit. The only thing I would add is maybe some Imodium. I'd maybe add some of that to the kit, and an irrigation syringe, which I've never carried, but that's used for cleaning out wounds with clean water if you need that. So I don't have those two items, but I'll look at adding them to the kit. Now if I'm going out with kids, I'll bring some liquid Benadryl, which is fast acting for allergies. I got some junior Advil for kids as well, and also some Reactin tabs for kids. So the first aid kit always changes depending where I'm going. If I'm going to the cabin, it's maybe not as extensive, but having it all together in this pouch means I could just grab it anytime and bring it with my gear and throw it in a bag. And depending who's in the group, if it's kids, I'll change it slightly and alter the medication on that front. So there's my kit. It's the one item in your kit you hope not to use, but it gives me peace of mind going on longer trips that I am somewhat prepared for most things that might pop up, and hopefully I don't have to use anything in the kit, but some of the comfort items like Pepto-Bismol, I bring Advil and Tylenol. I do get headaches the odd time, so I'll tend to use those kits and those items and things like that.